Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Bappy Ahmed and I'm your host. So guys, as of now we have learned so many topics in the field of generative AI. Now it's time to implement one amazing projects with the help of all the tools we have explored. So guys, we have seen like how we can work with the LangChain, how we can use these kinds of large language model. Even I already showed you how we can work with the vector database and what is the use of vector database. So we have learned so many things. Now it's time to integrate everything together and build one amazing projects. Okay. So in this video, actually, I'm going to discuss like how we can implement end-to-end generative AI projects with the help of LangChain, then large language model, vector database. And for the web app implementation, I will be using something called Streamlit because so far, whatever project actually I have showed you, that was based on Google Colab Notebook. Now it's time to understand like how we can create the web app kinds of software so that it would be very much amazing to the users. So whenever they will be using your software, so they will be enjoying your software a lot, right? So guys, here if you see, we'll be using LangChain framework to implement the entire projects, and large language model wise I'll be using Google PAM2 model. So here you can use any kinds of model. I think I already showed you. So you can use Llama 2, you can use Falcon, you can use Mistral 7b, anything you can use here. You can also use OpenAI here because PAM2 is a free and open source, and it is an alternative way of your OpenAI. So here actually you can generate a key and it would be completely free of cost, so you don't need to pay for it. Okay, so that's why I'm going to use Google PAM2 model. And VectorDB wise, I'll be using this Facebook FICE. So FICE is a vector database, so it's a local database. Here you can use any kinds of vector database. Let's say you can use Pinecone, Wave8, ChromaDB, anything you can use. I have already discussed each and everything in my previous session. You can go ahead and check it out. So FICE was left actually, so I thought let's integrate this FICE with these projects. Okay, so that actually you can also learn like how to use FICE kinds of VectorDB, okay, with your generative AI projects. So yes guys, this is the idea of this video. I hope you got it. So guys, in this video, we'll be implementing one amazing project called information retrieval system with the help of generative AI. So first of all, I will give you the project's idea. I will just give you the project architecture, like how we are going to develop these projects. Then we'll be doing our setup of the projects. Okay, we'll see like how we can set up the project's structure and all, and how we can use like GitHub to commit the changes and all. Everything I will show you there. So let's get started with our project's architecture. So guys, before starting with the project architecture, first of all, let's try to understand like what is information retriever. So information retriever is nothing but, let's say you have one docs here, okay, or you can also consider you have some data here, and let's say this is related to sports. Okay, this is related to sports. Okay, so you have the this entire corpus, and which is nothing but sport related documentation. Now let's say there is a user, so this user will raise some query. Okay, this user will raise some query. So here what information retrieval will do actually, so it will have some mechanism here. Okay, so it can be like you can say ML mechanism, it can be DL mechanism. Okay, so in this case we'll be using large language model based mechanism. So this mechanism will help me to get the response actually, the query actually user has asked. So in this case, let's say user has asked any kinds of query. So this system, this information retrieval system will give me the response. Okay, will give me the response with respect to the query actually this user has asked. Okay, now this is the sports related query. So this user will only ask the sports related query and it will only give me the response with respect to the sports related answer, right? Now let's say if this user is asking anything which is not present inside this documentation and which is not related to sports. Okay, so at that time actually this system won't be working. So this system is only you can say rely upon your documentation you have given, okay, as a source. So this is the information retrieval system you can talk about. So here basically we're just trying to use our custom documents, okay, custom documents to make this kinds of information retrieval operation. So let's say I have one books, or let's say I have one paper, or let's say I have one any kinds of PDF. So this PDF, let's say I don't know like what is this PDF all about, what is this book all about. So what I can do, I can give this PDF to my information retriever system. Okay, so then I will ask some query related to this PDF or let's say book, and it will give me the response with respect to that. Okay, so it would be very much easy for us to get the information about this PDF. Okay, and we'll be learning very quickly there. So this is one of the amazing application in the field of generative AI. So that's why actually we'll be implementing these projects, and this is like very interesting. So this is the like idea of the information retrieval system. Now let's try to understand the project architecture. Like how we are going to develop these projects. So for this, first of all, I need to take the input from the user. So user will give me PDF file. Okay, user will give me PDF files. So any kinds of PDF file user will submit. Then from this PDF, first of all, I need to extract the data or content. So here I need to apply extract data. Okay, extract data from the PDF. So once I got the data from the PDF, then I need to apply something called text chunk. Okay, I need to convert this entire corpus to chunks. I think you already know what is chunks, because we'll be using large language model, and large language model will have some specific input token length. So for this, I need to apply this chunks operation. So it will give me text chunks. Okay, let's say text chunks 1, then text chunks 2, okay, and so on. Okay, so it will return me this text chunks one by one. All right, so once I got this text chunks, I need to apply this embedding model to get the vector embedding. So here you'll be applying this embedding model. And you will receive something called vector embedding. So let's say this is my embedding. Here I will get. So I just copy paste this thing. Okay, so it will give me this vector embedding. So once I get this vector embedding, I'll be build one semantic index. So I think you remember what is semantic index. I was discussing in my VectorDB session. Build semantic index. Then I'll be storing this semantic index to my VectorDB. Okay, so in this case, I'll be using FICE. Okay, FICE as my VectorDB. So this is my VectorDB. Okay, so here actually all the vector will save. Let's say this is my vectors. Okay, these are the vectors actually will save here. Now I need to handle the user part. So let's say this is my user. So user will raise some question. So let's say this is the query. Okay, so first of all, I need to convert this query to query embedding. Query embedding. Then on top of this query embedding, I will be applying something called semantic search. Semantic search. So semantic search will be applying on the VectorDB. So this VectorDB will give me some ranked results. Okay. Now I'll be using LLM. That means large language model. So let's say this is my LLM. So in this case, I'll be using Google PaLM2. Then I'll be extracting the relevant answer I want. Okay, with respect to the query I have asked. So LLM will help you to give you the response actually. So this is the response. Okay, so this is the entire actually architecture of our project. So first of all, user will give me some data, in this case PDF file. Then from this PDF file, I need to extract the data. Then I will be applying chunks operation on top of it. Then we'll be converting to text chunks, and I will be using embedding model. In this case, I'll be using Google PaLM embedding. Then I'll be converting those text chunks to vector embedding. Then I'll be building one semantic index. Then I'll be storing that vectors to my VectorDB. In this case, I'll be using FICE. Then we'll be handling the user part. User will give some query, and we'll be first of all converting this query to query embedding. Then we'll be performing semantic search operation. So it will give you some rank results. So I'll be passing this rank results even the query actually user ask, then my LLM will give me the response actually I want in this case. Okay, so this is actually complete information retriever architecture. Okay, I think you saw. Now let's try to code this example, okay, and try to build the entire system. So now what I will do, first of all, I will set up one GitHub repo, because here I'm going to commit my code. So here, first of all, let me open my GitHub. Now guys, this is my GitHub. So here I will be creating one repository. So I'll just name it as information retrieval system. You can give any name, no issue with that. I think it should be system. Then let's make this repository as public. Then I'll just add readme file as well as the git ignore. So here I'm using Python programming. So Python license wise, you can take any license. I'll be taking MIT one. Then create the repository. Okay. Now, first of all, let's clone this repository in our local machine. So let me open my folder. So here I'm going to open my terminal, and I'll be cloning this repository. So I'll just write git clone and paste this link I've copied. So it will clone that repository here. So now let me redirect to the folder. So this is the folder. So I'll just write cd information retriever system. Okay, now I'm inside this folder. Okay, now here, first of all, I need to open my VS Code. So in this case, you can use any kinds of code editor. I'm using VS Code. So let me open the VS Code. So I have already opened my VS Code here. Now, first of all, what I need to do, I'll be creating one file called template.py here, because I need to first of all create my project's folder structure. Then I'll be starting with the coding. So for this, actually, I'll be writing this template.py. And this template.py file will help me to create my project folder structure automatically. Okay, I don't need to create it manually, like just click here, create the folder and file. So it will take time. So it's just a one-time effort, guys, you need to follow. So once you have just written this file, so next time you don't need to write it again and again. You can execute this file and it will automatically create the folder structure for you. So here, first of all, I'll be importing some libraries. So I need operating system. Then I need something called pathlib, path from pathlib. So import, no, I think it should be from pathlib, import path. Okay, then I'll be defining one logging string here, because whenever this file will execute, you can also see the log in the terminal. So this is the logging string. So for this, actually, I also need to import the logging. Let me just import it. So import login. So logging is the inbuilt package inside Python. Now this is the logging string I have prepared. So it is information related log, and this is the log format. Actually, first of all, it will extract the ASCII time. That means the current timestamp you are running your code, and it will also print the log message. Okay, like whatever message actually you want to print, it will print the log message. Now here I need to create some list of the file. So I'll copy paste this thing from my previous project, and I will edit here. So here, first of all, I'll be creating one src folder. And inside src folder, I need one constructor file called underscore underscore init, underscore underscore init underscore underscore dot py. Then inside that, actually, I'll be creating another file. Let me just delete. Inside that, I'll be creating another file called helper.py. I'll explain, like, whenever I'll be writing the code, I will explain like why we are creating this file and all. Okay, that time it will be pretty much clear. As of now, we are just arranging the folder structure. Okay, so just try to get it. Then I don't need these two things. I'll just remove it. I don't also need this config. I'll be creating another file called .env. I'll tell you like why this .env is needed. Then I'll be creating another file called requirement.txt, setup.py, app.py, and resource. Inside resource, I have one trials.ipnb. Let's see if you want to perform any kinds of experiment in the notebook. So you can use this notebook file here. Okay. So yes, I think these are the files is fine for me. Okay, for this project. If I need anything else, so I can create it. Okay, it's like pretty much easy. Now I need to write the logic to create this folder structure. So this is the logic, guys. It's a simple Python code. See, first of all, what I'm doing, I'm just looping through this list, okay, one by one. Then I'm trying to convert this path. Okay, first of all, I need to remove this F. So first of all, I need to convert this path to Windows path, because as you can see, here we are using forward slash, and forward slash we usually use in our Linux operating system. Okay, but if you're using Windows, so Windows uses actually backward slash, this backward slash. Okay, but here I'm not going to use backward slash. I'll be using forward slash. But to actually ignore this forward slash, okay, and to prevent the error, I'll be using this path library. So what this path will do, it will automatically detect your operating system. With respect to that, it will convert this path to your operating system. Let's say here we are using Windows operating system, so this path would be converted to Windows. Okay, so that time actually we won't be getting any path issue. So that's why actually we are converting this path to Windows operating system with the help of this path. Then we are extracting the file directory and the file name. So in this case, this is my directory, okay, and this is the file name. So with the help of this was.path.split, actually you can do it. Then I got my file directory and file name. Now first of all, I need to create the file directory. To create the file directory, here I have written one statement. So if this file directory is not empty, that means if there is a file directory, just try to create it with the help of this was.make directories. And if it is already exists, just try to ignore. Okay, then try to log the information. Okay, we have created this thing. Then once it is done, I also need to create this file, right? So to create the file, this is the logic I have written. So first of all, it will check whether this file is exist or not, or this file is completely empty or not. If it is, then it will create this file, okay, and it will log the information. Then it will create the file and it will log the information. We have created the file. Then if it is not, then it will give you this file is already exist. Okay, so this is the simple Python code I have just written. So this code will help me to automatically create these files and folder for me. Now let me show you like how it will create everything. So for this, actually I'll open my terminal, and here I just need to execute this template.py file. Now see guys, here I don't have any kinds of file and folder. Now if I execute this template.py and just see the magic, see I have executed. Now see guys, it has automatically created everything for me. See, it has first created this resource. Inside that I have trials.ipnb. It has also created src. Inside src I have this constructor file. Then I have this helper.py as well. Then .env has been created, app created, requirement setup, template. Okay, so everything has been created. Now let's say you want some other file in future. So let's say I want this test.py. I want this test.py. Okay, see, I'll just again execute this file. It will automatically create for me. See, test.py has been created. So it's just a one-time effort to create your folder structure. You don't need to create again and again. Okay, and I like this step to create my folder structure always, because it helps me to save my time. So now let's say if I want to create any other projects in the field of generative AI, so I'll just take this template.py file and I will create my folder structure automatically. Okay, I don't need to write this again and again. Now guys, we have successfully created the folder structure. Now let me just quickly commit the changes in my GitHub. So here I'll just give the message as folder, or you can use your terminal as well to commit the changes. So I'll just write git add space dot, then git commit -m folder structure added. Then let's do git push origin main. Done. Now if I go back and refresh my GitHub, now see all the file has been committed. So now guys, we have to set up our project requirements. Okay, so for this I'll be opening this requirement.txt, and here I'll be writing all the requirements actually I need for this project. So first requirement, I need something called python.env. Okay, I'll tell you like why I need this python.env. As of now, just try to add here .env. Then I also need something called Google Generative AI. Okay, so why I'm using this Google Generative AI, I think you remember. So I'll be using Google Palm model, and for this actually I need this package to get the Google Palm model. Okay, I think I showed you in my notebook experiment. So generative AI package. Then I also need something called LangChain. Then I also need something called PyPDF because I will be reading PDF data. So for this, actually, I need this package PyPDF too. Then vector database wise, I'll be using FIAS. So here I will just write FIAS. So this is the package for FIAS VectorDB. Okay, so FIAS CPU. Then I will be also using Streamlit. So here, let me just write Streamlit to create my web app. Then I'll be also set upping my src as my local package. For this, I need to set up my this setup.py. And to set up this setup.py, you need to execute this line here called hyphen e space dot. So basically this line will help me to set up this setup.py. It will look for the setup.py and it will automatically install. Okay, that's why we write this one. Now inside setup.py, I also need to write some of the code. So this is the code. Actually, you just need to mention inside your setup.py. So here my project name is information retriever. I can give generative AI projects, I think. Generative AI project. Okay, so you can give any name, and this is the version you need to specify, author email address, and this find package will help you to install this src as my local package, because uh, like wherever this underscore underscore init underscore underscore dot py file is present, so that folder would be considered as my local package and it will install that one, right? So this is the idea of the, like, you can say, modular coding, and we usually follow this approach to create our end-to-end projects. Okay, that's why we need these are the thing. Now we have successfully written our requirement.txt as well as my setup.py. Now it's time to set up our projects. So for this, first of all, I need to create one Python environment. Okay, so let me create the environment. So first of all, uh, you need to create one Python 3.8 environment. So for this is the command. Just write conda create hyphen n, give the name of the environment. So here I can give GNAI. Okay, GNAI, or you can give any name, no issue. Then I need to specify the Python version. So Python equal to 3.8, or you can use more than 3.8, but I will be using 3.8 and hyphen by. Then let's create the environment. So guys, as you can see, my environment is created. Now let me activate it. Hmm. Then I need to install this requirement.txt. So for this, just write pip install hyphen r requirement.txt. So it will take some time. Let's wait. I will come back when it is done. So guys, as you can see, my installation is done. Now let me clear the terminal. Yeah. Now what I need to do, I need to add my secret credential. Secret credential wise, actually, I need to add something called Google API key. Okay, I think you remember we collected Google API key because if you want to use Google PAM2 model, so you need to collect this Google API key. So I already collected my Google API key. I think you remember. So I'll just paste this API key here. So you can use your API key. Don't use my API key. I'll just remove it after the recording. Okay, this is my Google API key. So this thing I have discussed in my Google Palm session. Okay, so from there actually you can get it, like how to generate this API key. So I already generated my API key. So here is my API key. Okay, Google, my API key. This is my variable name, and inside that I have just stored my API key. And inside this .env file, actually I have added my secret. Okay, why I have added my secret inside .env? So there is a reason, because see, I'm committing my code inside my GitHub, right? But if I'm not creating this .env, so what will happen if I'm using it like as hardcode in my code? So people can also see that secret file and they can also access my Google API key, right? For this, actually, I will be creating this .env. Now, see, if I want to commit the code, now see this .env file is not coming, okay, during commit, because this file is ignored. Because by default, whenever you are using this git ignore, so inside git ignore, this .env file is already written. If you see .env, See, .env is already written, so it will be automatically ignored, okay, during commit my code inside my GitHub. So that's why we will be using this .env file to store our secret key, so that actually it won't be committed in my GitHub, okay. And how to read this secret file, I'll tell you. For this, actually, I'll be using this library called python.env. So this package will help me to read this secret keys from my .env file, okay. Now let me just quickly commit the changes in my GitHub. So if you're using a VS Code, so from here also you can do the commit. So you can just give the commit message. So here I'll just write requirements, add it, then click on commit button. And if you're doing it for first time, it will like try to tell you just give the GitHub access. So it will open the GitHub. So there actually you need to provide the access, then it will able to the commit operation. Okay, for me, I have already done the setup, so that's why it's working. And if it is not working for you, so you can directly commit the code from your terminal as well. Okay, I think I showed you there how to do it. That's done. Okay, now guys, let's see one demo, like how we can read this secret from my this .env with the help of this python.env package. Then I'll start with my project implementation. So for this, actually, I'll open my resource folder, and here I've already created one trials.ipynb. Let me open this file. Okay, here I'll do the experiment. Now here I'll just select my kernel. So the current kernel, actually I'm using Generative AI. Okay, I created this one. Okay, now first of all, here I'll be importing that library .env. So here just write .env import. There is a function called load env. Okay, load .env. Okay, I need to import it. Then first of all, you need to call this method here. Then here I need to read this Google API key. So this is my variable. I'll just copy, and let's take this variable name only here. So you also need to import something called operating system package. So let me import OS. Now here I'll just write os dot get env get, and here you just need to give this key name. Okay, so this is the key name. I'll copy and I'll give it here. All right, now if I print this one, now you will see it will print my secret key, okay, from this .env. So this is the use of this .env package, okay, python.env package. Basically it helps us to load this env file as my environment file. Okay, as you can see, with the help of operating system and get env, I'm loading it easily. Then I'm just trying to store it in my variable. As you can see, store it in my variable, and I can directly use it. Okay, so if you're using this python.env package, so you can add your secret key inside env file, so that other user won't be able to see your secret credential in your projects. Okay, so that's the use of this one. So guys, this is one of the good package actually I saw, then I thought let's use in my projects. Okay, so that it would be good to manage our secret key and all. Okay, so that's why I'm using. Now let's start with our app development. So here I'll just open this app.py. So first of all, here I need to import my Streamlit. So I'll just write import Streamlit. It's not giving suggestion because here I need to select my environment. So this is my environment. Okay, so now it should give me the suggestion. Yeah, Streamlit as st. Then here, first of all, I'll be creating one function called main. Inside main, actually, first of all, I will give my page title. So I'll just write st dot set page set underscore page config. So let's give the name as information retrieval. I also need to give my page heading. So I'll just use st dot header. Then here I just need to set the header. So here I can give this name. So it is present inside my readme information retrieval system. And guys, how I'm writing this code, this Streamlit code, it's like very easy. So you can refer this Streamlit documentation. So just search Streamlit docs. Okay, see everything they have given. Now you can search specific thing. Let's say I want to create page header. So here I'll just write header streamlit. So it will give me that particular code. See guys, it's giving that particular code like how to write this page header and all. Okay, so you can also search with specific things you want to use in your code. So here I use this documentation to refer this app actually I'm going to develop. Okay, so everything I refer from the documentation. So in Streamlit is like very easy. So here you don't need any HTML and CSS code for to create your web app. So you can use Pythonic way to create everything. Okay, so here I've written st.header. Now here I've given the header name called information retrieval system. uh, yeah, now here you can also put some emojis if you want. So let's put these emojis. Yeah, now let's test it whether it's working or not. So let me call this function. So I'll just write this if underscore name equal to underscore main. So basically if you know this thing actually in Python, so whenever we execute our file, so my code will start reading from here. So here I'll mention my main function because main function I want to read at the very fast. Okay, so this is the way of writing modular coding, guys. Okay, that's why I'm showing this modular coding fashion project. Otherwise you can also create as a script wise, it's completely fine, but it's a better practice to use modular coding always. Now I will execute my file. So I'll open my terminal and here you just need to write this command called streamlit run app.py. So see guys, my web page is ready and I'm also able to put this header, and this is the web page name, information retrieval. I think you remember we have set it here. So set page config information retrieval, and this is my header. Okay, and by default Streamlit runs on this port number 8501. Okay, and it is running in my localhost. Now what I will do, I will add some layout with this web page. Okay, basically I will just add some slide bar and all. Okay, so how to do it? So let's do it. Basically I also need to create one upload. Okay, user upload. So basically user will upload the PDF, and that PDF actually I need to take it. Okay, so for this kinds of functionality I need to add it. So now for this actually I need to create one sidebar. So I'll just write with st.sidebar. Okay, sidebar. So how to create sidebar, you can search on Streamlit documentation, you will get the code. So here I'm writing the code sidebar. So first of all here you just need to set the sidebar title. So I'll just write sidebar title st.title, and in this case I'll just name it as menu. Then here I just need to make one uploader. Okay, PDF file uploader. So this is the code for it. So here let me show you. So you need to use something called st.file uploader, and here you just need to give the message upload your PDF file, and click on the submit and process button. And you also need to mention this parameter accept multiple files is equal to true. So basically user can upload multiple PDF file, okay, at a time. So we'll be accepting all the file together. Okay, it's not like that only one file it will work, it can also work with multiple file. Okay, so once I got this PDF file, I also need to submit this PDF file. Okay, for this I need a button called this submit and process button. So this is the button actually I'm creating. So you need to use st dot button, and here I'm just writing one condition. If this button is pressed, okay, then it will give me one processing message. So for this I'll be using this snipper option. Okay, so snipper will give you the processing. I'll tell you like whenever I will execute this project. Okay, at that time you will see like what is snipping and all. Then once this processing is done, it will give me one status message as well. So it would be done, it would be done. Okay, and inside that we'll be writing our logic. Okay, we'll be writing our logic which I'll be writing later on. Now let me test it whether it's working or not. So I'll go back and I'll refresh the page here. Now see guys, we have created this menu bar sidebar, and here we have given the message upload your PDF file and click on the submit and process button. Now let's upload one file here. Now I can upload one PDF file. Let's upload any kinds of PDF files. So I'll upload this PDF file, and if I now click on the submit and process button, Now see guys, it's giving done. Okay, now whenever you are uploading some bigger file and inside that some processing is happening, so it will give you this snipping message. Let me show you. So here I can do one thing. I can import time, and here if I just write time dot sleep, let's give 2 seconds. Now if I go back and refresh the page again, now let's upload one file. Now if I click on the submit and process button, now see guys, this processing is happening. I think you saw that. If I again submit it, now see processing happening. 2 seconds. Okay, that means this snipping is happening here. Snipping means it will just show you that message. Okay, like you are uploading and some processing is happening, okay, inside that. So whatever steps actually will be performing inside that, so you will be seeing as processing. Okay, everything is processing here. I think you saw some software like if you submit here and click on the submit button, it will show you the processing. Okay, if it is taking time, then it will give the message called processing. So this thing actually you can handle with this this snipper. Okay, snipper function. Now I think you got the idea. Now I'll just remove this time. I don't need it. Yeah. So the first thing what I need to do, I think you remember, if I open my project architecture. So first of all, I need to accept this PDF file. So this functionality I have already added in my code. Now I need to extract the PDF data and I need to convert it to chunks. I need to also convert it to embeddings. Then I need to build a semantic search, okay, with the help of FICE database. So these kinds of functionality I need to add. So how to add them? I think I already showed you in my notebook experiment whenever I was showing that Google Palm example. Then I was also showing that Llama 2 example. So all the code will remain same, but the code actually I'm going to write inside this helper function, because I don't want to write these are the function here, because otherwise this code would be a little bit messy for me, right? It won't be like understandable. So it's better to use some other file to write the helper function and all, so that this code would be readable. That's how actually we perform this modular coding, right? So now inside helper, I'll be writing all the helper function actually I need. So first of all, I'll be importing some of the libraries here. So these are the libraries are needed, and you are already familiar with these are the libraries, why we need this PDF reader, why I need this recursive text splitter. Everything I have explained in my previous session. Okay, so I don't need to explain it again and again. And I'm also using Google Palm embedding here because I need to convert to vector embedding. Then Google Palm model I'll be using, and then FICE database I'll be using, and it is already available inside LangChain. Then conversational retrieval chain, I already discussed this thing. Okay, then buffer memory, I need it. Why I need the buffer memory, I will explain this thing. Okay, why this thing is needed, I'll explain. Then I also need load environment, because I also need to read this secret key, okay, from this env folder. That's why this load env is required. So first of all, I need to load my Google API key with the help of this load env. I think I already showed you how to load it with the help of this IPONV file. I showed you the demo here, right? Then first of all, I'll be writing one function. So here, first of all, I need to write one function called get PDF text. So it will take that PDF documents, okay? It will take that PDF documents and it will extract that text, okay, with the help of this PDF reader, and it will give me that text, okay? This function will help me to extract the text from my PDF, okay? So once I get this PDF, once I get this PDF, that means PDF data, I need to also apply something called chunks, okay? I need to convert them to chunks. So for this, I'll be defining another function called get chunks. And see guys, codes are same, all the codes are same I used in my notebook, only I've just written in a function, okay, as you can see. So get chunks, it will take the entire corpus, and with the help of recursive character splitter, it will convert to chunks. So this is the chunk size and this is the chunks overlap, and here I'm defining my chunks object and converting my entire corpus to chunks, and it will return you the chunks, okay? So once I get the chunks, then I need to convert to embedding, okay? So how to convert them to embedding? So here is the code. I have written another function called get vector store, and here I'm using Google Palm embedding, and this is the FICE code guys. And here you can use any kinds of VectorDB, you can use Pinecone, Weaviate, ChromaDB, any kinds of VectorDB you can use. I already explained this thing how to use them and all, okay? I already shared all the materials with you, you can use it. So in this case I'm using FICE because FICE was left only, so I thought let's use this one. And FICE is a local database, okay? It won't be like cloud-based database. So here everything all the vector actually it will store in your local machine, okay? So here I'm initializing my FICE, and it has one method called from text, and it will take your entire text chunks, okay? The text chunks actually it will return, and it will also take the embedding model. This is my embedding model, and it will store all the embeddings. It will first of all convert all the text to embedding, then it will store inside vector store. Okay. So once I stored my vectors to my vector DB, now I need to create this conversational chain, because user will give some query and they will ask some query, then it will perform semantic search, it will rank the results. Okay. Basically, I need this conversational chain. So for this, actually, I need to create another function. So this is the function I already prepared, and this code I already explained. Okay, this is like very easy code. So I'm just converting my notebook as my modular coding here. If you see here, so this is the function I have written called get conversational chain. It will take the vector store, and here I'm initializing my Google Palm model as LLM, and here I'm using this conversational buffer memory. Why I need this buffer memory, let me explain. So for this, I'll be using this Google Bard. Okay, Google Bard as example. So I think you know this Google Bard is a very powerful chatbot Google has developed, and in the backend also they are using Google Palm model, right? Now let's say if I give any kinds of prompt here, let's say I'll just write give me a code for adding two numbers. See, it has given me the code in the Python. Okay, but if I just write I need Java code. See, I don't need to even write the entire query. Okay, I have asked to my part. Okay, so it is already remembered my previous question I asked already. Okay, so that's how actually it is remembering your previous context. Like the question you asked previously, it is also remembering. So this kinds of function actually I also want to add in my information retriever. So basically, whatever question user is asking, so previous question also it can remember. That's why I need this conversational buffer memory from this LangChain, because LangChain has this kinds of functionality, conversation buffer memory. With the help of this buffer memory, it can remember your previous context, okay, as a chat history. So that's why I need it. Now here is my conversational retrieval chain, and here you just need to give your LLM and your vector database as retriever, and here you also need to give the memory. Now I am returning this conversational chain. Okay, so this thing you have learned in your LangChain as well, like what is conversational buffer memory, what is in conversation retriever chain. Okay, everything has been discussed. Now guys, I will be implementing my final code. Now for this, actually I will go back to my app.py, and here I need to import all of them. So I'll just write from uh, it is present inside my helper. So I'll just write from src dot helper import. So I need to import first of all this get PDF text. So get PDF text. Then I also need to import this get text chunks. Then I need to import this get vector store. Then I also need to import this conversational chain. Okay, I have imported everything. Now inside this snipping, okay, because here some process will be happening. So once user has submitted that PDF, so the first thing I need to do, I need to extract the data from my PDF. So for this, actually I'll be using this get PDF text function. So it will take your PDF file. So this is my PDF file I got from my input, okay, from the user, and it will return use raw text, raw underscore text. Okay, so once I get my raw text, basically here if you see, it will return you the raw text. Once I got my text, okay, once I got my text, I think you remember, then I need to apply some chunking operation. Now for chunking, actually I need to use this function get text chunks. So after that, I will call this function called get text chunks, and it will take your raw text, and it will return something called text chunks. Then after getting text chunks, I also need to convert them to vector embedding. So I'll use this function, and it will take your text chunks. Okay, so that's why we have written this helper function one by one. Like now I'm using this one, and it will take your text chunks. So here I'll pass the text chunks, and it will return me vector store. Then I'll be initializing my conversational chain. So for this, I'll use this function, and this conversational chain will take the input of your vector store. And I also need to store this conversation as a history, because I told you I'll be using memory as your but I showed you, like it will also remember your previous context. So for this, actually, I'll be using this code. So here, actually, I'm creating one session state inside Streamlit. So I'm just writing st.session state. I'm writing one variable called conversation, and it will store your conversational chain. Okay, so this is the code. Now let me yeah. So I'll tell you whenever I will execute this code, I'll tell you like how it is working. Okay, as of now we have done everything. Okay, now if I go to my project, this is my project, and refresh. So all the things are prepared now. One particular things I missed out. I also need to give one user input here, because user will ask query, right? Because they will upload the file. So file uploader we have already created, and all the logic we have already written. Like first of all, it will extract the text, convert to chunks, store it to vector DB, then create the conversational chain. Everything we have written, but this query submission box is missing. So for this, I need to create this query submission box. Now again, I will open my code, and here is the code. So here I will just create one text input form, and here I'll give one message, ask a query from the PDF files. Okay, you have submitted. Now if I go to my projects and refresh, so this is the box, guys. Okay, now here you can ask any kinds of query. Now once I get this query, I need to start my conversation. Okay, so for this is the code actually I have written. I'll explain like what it is doing. Yes. So first of all, it will check, okay, this conversation, okay, this conversational chain is empty or not. Okay. If it is not in session state, okay, if it is not in session state, so that means it's a none. Okay, it will set as none. And there is another parameter I need to set called chat history. Okay, how to chat history? So here I need to create another function called user input. So let me show you. So see, guys, this is the user input function I have created. So basically here, if you see, if user question, that means if user ask any kinds of question, so it will execute this particular function. So it will take the question, and it will first of all initialize your session state conversation. Okay, I think you remember this is the conversation session state. It will initialize conversational chain, and it will ask the question. Okay, and the response, actually your LLM will give you. That thing I will save as my chat history. Chat history, as you can see here, again I'm creating another session state called chat history. Okay, and I'm storing this conversation. That means my previous conversation, I think I showed you whenever I was executing my BART example. So I asked this question, again I asked this question, so it was referring my previous context as out input as well, right? So that's why I need to save it. Then here I'm just writing one for loop. Basically user can ask multiple question one by one, so it will take that chat history one by one, and it will give you user and the reply. Okay, so I'll tell you like whenever I'll execute the code, it will be very much clear like how it is happening. Then here I'm checking if chat history is not in session state, that means it's a none, so just set it as none. Okay, otherwise just go with your user conversation. Okay, this conversation. Okay, now whatever I have written here, now let me run this project and let me show you how it is working. So I will save this one. Now see, guys, here I have one YOLO content PDF. So it is basically about YOLO. So here is the slide and all. Okay, so this thing I can upload, and I can ask query with respect to that. I can retrieve the information, and as well as I also have one research paper. Okay, so this research paper actually I published. If you see, here is my name. So this is my name. Okay, here's my name. Okay, so I work with this paper. So this is my another publication. So I can also ask some query with respect to this publication. Okay, with respect to this paper. Now these two file I will upload in my information retriever engine. Then first of all, I will submit and process. Then I will click on submit and process. Now see, guys, it's processing. That means it's applying all the operation I have added here. First of all, it will extract the text, applying text chunks, vector is stored. Then it will also prepare the conversational chain. So see, it's still processing. So it will take some time. Then once this is done, I will be able to ask the query, okay, with respect to the PDF I have submitted. So guys, as you can see, it's done. Now if you want to ask anything, just ask. Like I will ask something about my YOLO contents. I'll just write what is YOLO, uh, what is YOLO, and if I press enter, so it will give me the response with respect to the query I have asked. Now see guys, it's giving user what is YOLO, and this is the reply. YOLO is an algorithm for real-time object detection. Now if you see here I added this thing. Okay, so here I have added this thing, and why I have written this logic. Okay, let me show you. So if I ask any another query, tell me about the paper. Now guys, here if you see, it is applying this conversational buffer memory technique. Now first of all, I given like what is YOLO. Now I told like tell me about the paper. Now it automatically got to know I want to ask something related to this YOLO. Now it is giving the response. Okay, now it is giving everything in just one page. Okay, so using this logic, actually I have done this thing. Okay, so you need to write this logic, so everything you can see in the same page. Okay, so this is the logic you need to write, and with the help of this logic, it is handling this conversational buffer chain. Okay, so basically the previous context you ask, it will remember. With respect to that, it will also give you the answer. Now let's ask some query about our paper. So here I'll just write, tell me the introduction of the paper. Now see guys, it is giving the paper introduction. The introduction of the paper is about importance of the rainfall prediction of the negative impact of the heavily rainfall. Okay, now you can ask anything like what is this paper all about? So any kinds of question you can ask, it will give you the response. See, this paper is all about multiple regression model for rainfall measurement. Okay, so we published this paper. Now we can also see like uh, what is the methodology. I think methodology spelling is not correct. Methodology. See, the methodology proposed for the paper's supervised machine learning approach using different regression from supervised learning technique. Great guys. So now it is working fine. Okay, now I think you got the entire idea of this projects, like how we have developed and what is the idea of this conversational buffer memory and how we can handle these kinds of thing. Basically the question we are asking, how we can use my previous context as my input as well. So that way actually we can handle. Now not only two file you can upload, like lots of file you can upload at a time, and you can do the information retrieval operation. Now let me quickly commit the changes in my GitHub. So I'll just commit it. So completed. I'll also update the readme file, like how we can execute the project and all the steps I will write here. So guys, as you can see, I already added this readme, like how to execute this project and all the steps I have added. Now also let me commit the changes. So I'll just write update readme. Done. Now if I go back to my GitHub, now see guys, everything has been updated. Okay, now you can refer this readme file, you can make the project setup. Okay, everything I have added. So yes guys, this is all about of these projects. We have seen like how we can create these kinds of end-to-end generative AI projects with the help of this LangChain, then LLMs and VectorDB, and we how we can use also Streamlit to create these kinds of beautiful web application. Now you can try with any other different projects. Okay, the process will remain same, and I showed you multiple things. Actually just try to explore from your side something, and in future I will also show you some more projects. Okay, like some more good interesting project I will bring up. So yes guys, this is all about from this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you need anything else from my side, you can let me know. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.